My name is Michael Gaines, and that's me having a rub-a-dub-dub, because I'm a very dirty player in the world of GTA. So why not come along for the ride? Yes, this is Michael Gaines' Murder Motors. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once more to Murder Motors with me, Michael Gaines. Now, as you can see, there's a Vinewood Tourbus, and I've never used one on Murder Motors before, so I thought I'd not only nick one and use it to see how tough it was on Murder Motors, but also give you my little tour. There you go, it's a Tourbus from the service industry, and what a wonderful industry it is. They work very hard and get very little money, transporting all these commoners around the city. There's some commoners, I hate commoners. Commoners, Matt, look at them. Anyway, lucky for me, I get 1 point for every commoner I run over in Murder Motors. And also, I get 5 points for a motorcyclist, because we all hate motorcyclists, don't we? And 10 points for a bacon. I said bacon. I love the smell of bacon. What I do not like, though, is when bacon come round your house and try and take your car away to the knacker's yard to have it crushed. Purely because you've run over a couple of 100 tourists, and you've got 4 bald tyres. I said bald tyres. And your windscreen's broken, and your bonnet's on fire, and you've got no paint on your car apart from like blood from people who, to be honest, should not have been walking along that path when you were driving along it in basically a motorised shed at 110 miles an hour. I said 110 miles an hour in a motorised shed. I'm just saying, it makes me angry. Anyway, let's start our tour of this city, a city which I call home. I said home. Anyway, just please remember at the end of this tour to leave a little tip for the driver, because the driver does work terribly hard. And remember, it's a thankless job being a driver, one of these tour buses. I mean, you literally have to get up at like 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning, and from then onwards, you're driving up and down the same tarmac roads. Do you have time for tea? You do not have time for tea. Do you have time for breakfast? You do not have time for breakfast because you slept in and didn't start work until 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning. It's a thankless job. Do you have time for lunch? You do not have time for lunch. Why don't you have time for lunch? Because you're dropping tourists off so they can have their lunch. Do you have time for supper? You do not have time for supper. A driver does not stop to eat. He's pounding the streets in his bus. A bus of glory. A bus purely for pleasure. A pleasure bus. All I'm saying is leave a bloody tip. I want a £5 and no less. Don't think you can give me your change. I do not want your change. Makes my shorts fall down. Drivers always wear shorts, don't they? Usually grey ones. I haven't got my shorts on today, but trust me, I will be wearing shorts. I said shorts, and not short shorts. They're ridiculous on a man of my senior years. I said senior years. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, let's start this bloody tour. Right. Here we are in the city that I call home. It is a city that never sleeps. Well, I don't really know why people say it's a city that never sleeps, because to be honest, cities never wake either, do they? Because they're not people, they're cities. They are cities, so do not give it sort of personified tendencies. I do not agree with personification of cities. I said no personification. I hope you're enjoying this tour so far. There's some people who are now under my wheels. I have a Murder Motor score of 51. I hope you're having fun. Driving round here, you can see a building over on your left. I am sure in that building you will find people doing stuff. Perhaps they're drinking coffee. Perhaps they are printing things off the internet from sources they should not be looking at. Perhaps they are doing what that man's doing, flying headfirst into a wall. We do not know about their personal lives, but I'm sure their personal lives are as exciting as the stars that you will find in Vinewood films. I said Vinewood films. I don't know why, but I feel like quite an angry tour guide. I said an angry tour guide. Over to your left, now in front of us, now on the right, you will see bacon. But do not be afeard of the bacon that you see firing live rounds at our heads. as I believe the bacon was probably hired by the local film studio in order to show us what it is like if we were the stars of our own action movie. I said action movie. I'm sorry if you have been shot in the face during this tour. No refunds are available from Michael Gaines' Vinewood Tours. This is because, so far, I have not made a bloody penny. I said a bloody penny. Oi, you. You're not getting on my bus without paying, and you. Sling your hook. And you. Bush. That's 84 points. Lovely. Right, let me continue my tour. Bush. Here, you will find a taco shop. I've never had tacos, but I believe they're probably foreign, because they do not look like they are either of the two major food groups. They do not look like they are made of bangers or like they are made of mash. Now, let's go down to the seafront, as I do like to stroll along the prom, where the brass band plays Tiddly-om, pom, pom. That is a song that makes no sense to nobody, unless of course you were around during the Boer War, where they had tiddly pom 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 bands. I do not know what a tiddly pom 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 band are, but I assume it's something like these fools here. Most of these fools you will see over here on the tour are in fact out of work actors. I said out of work actors. Now, not a lot of people know this, but I'm going to tell you that if you were to come to Vinewood, 103% of the people you meet are out of work actors. And they're a very special breed out of work actors. I call them bummerinos, because they're all just bumming around. That bloke who I've just knocked off a police car, he is actually an actor called Damien. Yes, he's got an evil name, but he's not an evil man. In fact, he's a very nice man who's got a sweet family. Luckily, he was wearing a rubber gimp suit, so no harm will come from him. Sadly, his mate, Baz, just there, was not wearing the same type of suit. He bought his suit from the pound shop. I am not actually sure if they have pound shops in Vinewood or in America at all. In fact, all I have seen in America is a shop called 7-Eleven. Now, I believe that means that everything in that shop is a $7-11 dollars. I haven't quite got my head around the use of American money yet, but if everything is $7-11 dollars, that would explain why my house was recently repossessed. Because I bought a packet of sweets, and I paid $11 dollars for every single sweetie that I bought. And to be honest, I have quite a sweet tooth, so I bought 4,000 humbugs. Now, for anyone who is American, you might not know what a humbug is. Well, let me tell you. I said, let me tell you what a humbug is. A humbug is a sort of sweetie, but it's got a very stripy look to it. So, if you were to eat, say, 11 of these sweeties, it's sort of a bit like being a cannibal and eating Newcastle United Football Club. Do you know, all this talk of sweeties is actually making my mouth water. And the last time my mouth watered, when I thought of delicious, delicious sweeties, I was actually walking in the Cairn Gorms, which is somewhere up north somewhere. And I was wearing a waterproof jacket, and I had the hood up. And because it was so waterproof, I said waterproof, I basically drowned. However, I did not die. Now, this is a very interesting story. I hope you're enjoying the tour. Please continue listening. The reason I did not die was because one of my 17 dads actually worked at Billingsgate Fish Market on a fish counter selling haddock. He sold haddock. Haddock, 99p a haddock. Get your haddock, 99p a haddock. You don't want to buy a haddock for 99p? 89p a haddock. Get your haddock, 89p a haddock. Don't want to buy a haddock for 89p? 79p a haddock. Get your haddock, 79p a haddock. Anybody please buy a haddock, 79p a haddock. You want to buy a haddock for 79p? Haddock, 50p. Get your haddock, 50p. 50p haddock. Get your haddock, 50p. You don't want to buy a haddock for 50p? Alright. Haddock, 30p haddock. Get your haddock for 30p. Anyone want to buy a haddock for 30p? Oh, you, sir. Do you want to buy a haddock for 30p? You look like a fishy sort of fellow. No? You don't want to buy a haddock for 30p? Oh, you've just hit me in the face for calling you a fishy fella. That's not very nice. Haddock. I'll give you £10 if you take a haddock. I hate fish. I've been selling this haddock for weeks. It's gone off. Please help me. Where was I? I've gone off on a weird tangent doing impressions of my dad trying to sell haddock. He was a terrible salesman. Oh yes, the reason that I did not drown was because my dad was a salesman at Billingsgate Fish Market selling haddock. And I believe some of the haddock DNA may have actually soaked into his, you know, his man juice. And what happened was obviously, you know, when I was born, he popped me out. I was born part fish. Brilliant. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying Michael Games' Vinewood tour. Let's move along the beach for a little more entertainment. As you can see over there, there is a stunt double from one of the Baywatch programs. Baywatch was an interesting show because all it really involved was really good looking people wearing red jackets, occasionally running after sort of bank robbers. Now, I don't know why bank robbers went to the beach so often, but let me tell you, they were always at the bloody beach. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had a few jobs in banks in the past, and I have never taken the loot to a beach. It's the worst place to take your loot, because there's always people on the beach with bloody metal detectors. Scroungers, that's what they are, they're bloody scroungers. Boop, 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 boop. Here, Morris, guess what? What, Norman? Well, Morris, I believe I have just found 5 pence. Not 5 pence. Is it Roman? No, it's not a Roman 5 pence, it's just 5 pence. Are you sure it's not Roman? Yes, I'm sure it's not Roman. Could be Roman. It's not Roman, they didn't use 5p coins during Roman times. Are you sure it's 5 pence and not 2 pence, in which case it could be Roman? They did not have 2 pences in Roman times. 1 pence? It's not 1 pence. You sure it's not Roman? It's not Roman. So you found 5 pence and I have found 5 pence. It's your lucky day then, isn't it? Yes. How about you? Have you had any luck? Yes, actually I have had a little bit of luck today. Oh, have you? What have you found? Well, since you've asked, I found this suitcase full of £50 notes, which are all consequential in sort of serial number, which I believe must have been dropped by Romans. They were dropped by Romans. I could tell by the die pack. It was blatantly made in Rome. It was not made in Rome. Yes, it was. It wasn't. It was. It wasn't. It was. It wasn't. Was. I hate you. I'm taking my 5p and I'm buggering off. So you don't want half of my Roman money then? Yes, please. Alright, there you go. Great, thanks. But it's not Roman. So long, sucker. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just one reason I do not like scroungy buggers with metal detectors. We are now coming to the end of the tour. We'll quickly pass through this tunnel, so feel free to snog a beautiful person if you're sat next to one. If you yourself are beautiful and there's no one near you, feel free to come up and see me and I'll slip you the tongue. Now, please give generously. Now, as you can see, the service industry Tourbus got a murder motor score of 178. I hope you enjoyed the tour and come again once more. Ding ding, fares please.